Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your October the 8th, just for today, in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. The title of today's meditation, A New Pattern of Living. We suspect that if we do not use what we have, we will lose what we have. That is a quotation from the basic text, page 78. Addiction gave a pattern to our lives, and with it a meaning, a dark, diseased meaning, to be sure, but a meaning nonetheless. The Narcotics Anonymous recovery program gives us a new pattern of living to replace our old routines. And with that new pattern comes a new meaning to our lives, one of light and hope. What is this new pattern of living? Instead of isolation, we find fellowship. Instead of living blindly, repeating the same mistakes again and again, we regularly examine ourselves, free to keep what helps us grow and discard what doesn't. Rather than constantly trying to get by on our own limited power, we develop a conscious contact with a loving power greater than ourselves. Our life must have a pattern. To maintain our recovery, we must maintain the new pattern our program has taught us. By giving regular attention to these patterns, we will maintain the freedom we found from the deadly disease of addiction and keep hold of the meaning recovery has brought to our lives. Just for today, I will begin a new pattern in my life, the regular maintenance of my recovery. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. A new pattern of living, and it's true. I remember the pattern of living that I had. It was almost like a double identity, right? Because I was sociably uh, functional, right? I had a job on the outside. I appeared to be. I had a job. It appeared to be, a lucrative job, one that I could grow within the company if I could show up on time, right? So on the outside, things looked okay. I had a pattern of showing up in society, but I needed my crutch, right? In order to exist because my anxiety was just so high. I needed my crutch to kind of soothe my nerves so that I could function. But there's those times where I probably soothed my nerves too much and it made me extremely disconnected, non-productive. Um, I had free access to a phone and I thought, 1-800 number meant that my friends could call me from afar on that 1-800 number and it was free, right? So I was very naive in my thinking, getting in trouble for all of the, you know, hundreds of phone calls and dollars that were ran up on this 1-800 number with me supposedly working. But because my job was on the phone quite a bit, the one that was very lucrative, it looked like I was working, but I wasn't working. And I got found out, right? So on the outside, I appeared to be functional. That was one pattern. But what they didn't know was what I was using and doing to be able to maintain that facade. So it was quite a relief to just finally have a breakdown and surrender and admit that I was an addict. Could I have continued to go on pretending for a little while? Probably. But it was a very dark disease meaning, to be sure, right? My pattern was. And when I finally got clean, it started to change. And I had to catch myself quite a bit. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to act like that's okay. I mean, you have pretty much lost everything. Why now, as you are rebuilding your life, going to groups and learning about depression and anxiety and rebuilding, who you are from the inside out? Why build it in a fake manner? Right? I took that to the extreme too, right? I made sure everybody knew exactly what I felt, even in the middle of a meeting. If you were sharing and I didn't like what you said or how you looked at me, it was time to check you, right? So I went to the other extreme. But as I started to grow truly in recovery, I began to learn that this is a different pattern. This is a pattern of waking up every day committed to not using drugs, right? With that, I was able to find a God of my own understanding. And so now that became my priority. Having a regular fellowship, communication, interaction with my higher power, right? So today, the pattern that I have is truly recovery based, restorative based, and I love it. And that's what I want for you. Even if today isn't the best day, it can be. It can be a better day than maybe what you're thinking about it right now, right? You could do the 11th step anytime, you know? Maybe there's some things that you need to write out in your 4th step. Maybe you need to do a mini 5th step with someone that you trust. We can turn it around. And that's what I want for you today, to turn things around, develop a new pattern in your life. What does that look like? That looks like not building the fire needlessly. That person that you're thinking about checking today, let it go. How many times have you've had to say the same thing to them? I don't do this. I don't like this. I don't want this. Okay, so today, why give them one more reminder? They know all of these things about you and they continue to do the same thing. But because you don't think you can do better, or you think that you have to settle for whatever they're putting down, because you might be mildly or somewhat dependent upon them, you continue to allow it to happen. Well, today, let's make a new pattern. Let's not text back. Let's not call back. Let's not respond on social media, right? I'm not saying block them and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying let's do a new pattern today. You said yes and found out no was the better answer. Let's move with the no today. And when we do that, we're moving to maintain our recovery. We're going to let go of all that dead weight because we need to. We got to cut away the fat to enjoy the steak, right? It served its purpose. Yeah, it served its purpose to teach us that no matter how much time we have, we still can be stuck and get back into an old rut, and we don't need to. Chewing and chewing on fat like it's bubble gum, and there's a whole steak of recovery for us to enjoy. Some people like grizzle. Okay, I don't. Some people love to chew bones. I don't, right? Today, let's enjoy our recovery with a new pattern. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.